Hi, folks. Welcome to Breakpoint 2025. This is Siddharth Shukla, and I am working for Amazon as an SDET2. I have around 13-14 years of experience into automation, DevOps, AWS, and currently, like everyone else, I'm working more on the LLM and AI side, right? And that's how our today's topic is. Our today's topic is basically related to how we can use the generative AI for creating test automation scripts. So for ease of understanding, I have divided this session into two sections. First section is mostly I will walk you through the slides, and I have tried to create the slide in a star format so that it would be easy for everyone to understand, right? So once we are done with the slides, what I will do, I will show you a quick demo using some of the code generation tools on how exactly we can generate more effective automation scripts, right? So let's start. As I told, I have created the slides in a star format. So our first thing is situation, right? So what is the current state of test automation? That currently we are creating the test scripts. It may be in Selenium or Playwright or Cypress or Rest Assured or Request Library, whatever language you use or whatever library we use, right? So what we do, we basically design our framework and then write the test automation scripts. For that, what happens, sometime a framework specific knowledge or skilled QA engineers are required, and sometimes it also happens like due to a lot of work on taking care of both functional testing and automation, we don't even get bandwidth to automate, right? And we all know, right, nobody works like your automation and everything is going with the same sprint, development and automation. It never works. Automation usually goes one sprint behind due to that reason, right? Because less bandwidth we have. So just to give you a over example, I have written an example over here that if you have a QA team in an e-commerce company, manual writes UI automation scripts for every new checkout flow in Selenium Java. Each script takes 3 to 4 hours, delaying the sprint cycle, as I told, right? Because when you are developing, manual testing is pretty easy. Means the functional testing part is pretty easy through manual testing because you can execute it, place the order, right, and then test it. But if you go through the automation, nowadays we don't have a team structure where you have 10 people for QA, 5 are doing manual, 5 are doing automation. Nowadays that scenario is not that much active, right? People are preferring that, okay, instead of taking 10 QAs, we will take 5 QAs and they will do both the manual and automation. In that case, writing those automation script takes a lot of bandwidth, right? First thing. Second thing, sometime if some team member left, then hiring another one with the same skill set would be another problem. For example, in market you will get a lot of folks from Selenium Java, but difficult to get TypeScript with Playwright, right? So those kind of problem usually happens. So what would be the required task to be taken over here? So the task is like how we can basically mm, reduce the effort in writing those test automation script, right? First thing. Second thing, how we can make sure that changing language should not be a barrier. That means if you are in Java, if you have to write in JavaScript or TypeScript or Python, it should not take that much of time that I'm learning a language and then start writing automation script, right? And the third point would be like how we can make it in a way that with the minimal effort we should be able to write more test scripts. To put it in a easier way, let us assume you are writing initially 100 test scripts in 5 days. Now, oh, that's a big number. Maybe 20 test scripts in 5 days, then we should find a way where we can write 20 test scripts in 1 day, right, without compromising the obviously the standards and thing. So so this is our task, right, that we have taken. Now we know that what is the situation, what is the task. Now what action we can take on it? So the action is like we should use generative AI, LLM models or agentic AI, whatever prefers, so that the pace at which we are now writing the test script should be multifolded. That what does that mean? 20 test scripts in 5 days, now 20 test scripts in 1 day. So instead of writing the test scripts, what we will do, we will just give the command or the prompt or the share our test cases with AI so that it should be able to generate the automation script. Now your question may be, then what the automation test engineers will do? See, it will generate the test scripts, that who will review it, who will validate it, who will make sure the coverage is right. Definitely an automation engineer who already has experience in it can only be able to do, right? For example, if Selenium Java test script is failing, if you don't know Selenium, anyway, you will not be able to fix it, right? That's why it's not like it is replacing us. It is like instead of writing 20 test scripts in 5 days, let's write it in 1 day, correct? And you may be thinking like what I will do in the rest 4 days, right? So the rest 4 days you will explore how I can contribute in unit testing, correct? So this kind of things I will discuss about it a bit more, that what we will do with that additional time apart from spending with family. Yeah, so that's why what we are going to do, we are going to see that how we can use generative AI in a way so that we can generate those test automation script with very less effort, right? Not only that, we will also see that how we can write the test automation script, review the test automation script using AI. And one more thing where most of our automation engineers struggle, that whenever you join a new organization, they will give you their own framework, right? And people struggle a lot to understand that what exactly that framework is doing, because many framework they don't have the class flow or the functional flow properly designed using a diagram, right? I'm not talking about mindby because those are not my favorites, but at least the mermaid or something if you guys are using, then those diagrams are not present, right? And that's the pain point. So we will see how we can take help of AI to understand a complete unknown code, right? And the fourth point, we will also see how exactly we can enhance our code optimization and coding standard techniques using generative AI. Makes sense, right, folks? Give a thumbs up. Okay, so the last one is result. So what the result we will get? We will get reduced script creation time by over seven. How I came come with this 70%? So I'm working with this since last 1 year at multiple places. I have discussed it with my students also, and we have seen that the overall reduction is around near about 40 to 50% is frankly speaking. So why the 70% comes into picture? If we think about the repetitive task, boilerplate code, then it can easily replace 70%. Okay, but if you are thinking about only generating new test scripts, it would be still less than 50. And yeah, so the faster onboarding, why? Because if you don't know Python also, you can take help of AI to basically understand the existing code in Python and then create of your own, right? Yeah, some other points I have already written, right? How it saves time and all, some numbers I have already given from my R&D, right? That one you can refer from this slide. But yeah, next what we will see that what would be the impact from this and what would be the next step, and then the most interesting part, the demo, right? So before we will go into the impact and next step, what we should do, we should jump into the demo right now. Okay, so I will take you to the IDE, my favorite IDE, IntelliJ, right? Let's go to IntelliJ. So here we are with our IntelliJ. So I will first start with one script where I will try to show you how we can basically generate a Selenium script, okay, using our generative AI. So for generative AI, there are multiple ways to do it, right? One is like you can go to the GPT, copy paste, right? One is like agentic AI. One is like code generation tools, right? Anything you can use. For this demo purpose, I am using Amazon Q Developer, which is a code generation tool, okay, similar to GitHub Copilot, okay. So now let's assume I want to generate test script. See, it has started doing the job. So I want to generate a test automation script using Selenium Java where I want to perform some step. Let's assume I want to perform this. Generate a Selenium test script in Java. See, you have to whenever you write a prompt, right? Assume it you are writing a code command. Okay, so any mistake will give you a very bad kind of code which won't be that useful, right? I have given some tips around it in our next slide when we go back to our PPT. Okay, so I want to generate a Selenium test script in Java for logging into a Gmail account with username and password, right? So here I can do like with the username as maybe example Sid, okay, and password as maybe Krishna, something like that, right? So with username as Sid and password as Krishna, right? So now the thing is that here also we can give more input, right? If you see, now what's the difference between a person who knows Selenium and a person who is not aware of Selenium? So if you notice over here, let me move it a little bit there so that it would be easy for you folks to see. So here I haven't written that how it will identify the username and password element, right? So here you can mention that, okay, username ID is maybe USRNAME, right? password element ID is pwd. Let us assume, okay. Now I am pressing enter. So see, now see what it will do. Can you see, folks? It is prompting, it is giving me command for my entire method, that public static void gmail login WebDriver driver is the instance driver.get. Why it is written xxx? Because I have not mentioned the Gmail, what would be the URL for it. Driver.find element by.id USR name. Can you see? Sendcase Sid pwd sendcase Krishna id login button dot click. Right? Super easy, correct? No need to go through Google, Stack Overflow, GPT. Just put it over here, it will give. There is one more point to notice, okay? So if you notice over here, suggestion 1 of 5. So usually it gives multiple suggestion. You can walk through it. See, now here what it has done, instead of input parameter to the method, it is giving a new WebDriver driver line. So this is more good. Driver.quit also, if it is adding here, can you see? It is more elaborative. Submit the form, verify login. This is more better, it seems, right? And then click next. See, this looks good to me. So I have picked this one. So whatever feels like, okay, this is more realistic, pick that one. Now you can see my entire code is up and ready. Right, folks? How long it takes? I guess 1 or 2 seconds. Correct. This is exactly this is exactly how the AI is going to help us, right? So instead of, if we have written of our own, it would have taken us some time, right? We have just given the input and it has done it pretty quickly for us, right? So now this is one of the best thing I like about AI, right? You can write codes very quickly. So similarly, you can write for rest assured, or you can write for maybe APM. For example, you want to write for rest assured, right? Let's give it a try, right? Generate test script for get method slash users and validate status code as 200 using rest assured and testng assertion. Okay, add your test logic here. That is not promising, right? Let's take the C. See, it is not able to give us the right prompt. Do you know the reason, folks? Let me show you. Because I don't have imports for rest assured. This is one of the most important trick. If you don't import the right package, it sometimes doesn't give the right output for you. I'm going to quickly pick a API automation project which I already have. Right, from there I can go to any method which I have already have in this one, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it over here. Okay, the same exact command that we have used right over there. See, I'm showing you so that you will not make this obvious if and errors. Okay, so instead of here, I am just moving it to my another package where I have rest assured already used. Now the same exact prompt. Okay, see. Can you notice, folks, the difference? You got it, right? So the imports are pretty important. If you don't tell it that what imports you have used and all, then sometime it doesn't give us the expected code. Okay, see, perfect. Can you notice? So you must be thinking how it is coming of this. It may be learning from the old test scripts I already have over here. So yeah, simply if I will go and create a new Java class, and if I try this, then it may not add this detail. This is just learning it from the existing class. That's the beauty of it, right? So I've shown you demo on this two things, like how you can generate test case with commands on your IDE, right? So that it would be easy for you. And here also, if you want to change something, for example, if you want to add something, see, it is already prompting. It will also prompt you that if you want to add something, you can easily do that like this. Okay, after this I will show you, we will go back to our slide. Okay, so now we are again back to our PPT where we will learn about the impact and next step. So what would be the impact if we start generating scripts like this? So for example, shift left setting by involving stakeholders. Earlier, make automation inclusive for manual tester. Yeah, and the most important part, we can be much faster in delivering the output, right? We can at last pace up with the development speed to generate our automation script, right? And at that point we will give better quality, more coverage, right? Those are the things will help us to do. So now there are some tips which I have given over here, which is super critical, folks. If you do these mistakes, it would be difficult for you to use prompts. Okay, for example, be specific with the prompt. For example, mention the exact tool, language and purpose. wrong to write login test. This is a very bad thing. Generate a Selenium test kit in Java for logging into your website, the one I have written, right? And I've shown you an example. In this prompt also, username and password ID you have missed. So as we have seen in the demo, we need to mention those things also. Define input and expected output clearly. Very, very crucial, folks. Okay, this one. Break down complex tasks. Don't give a very complex task in a single line. It may not be able to understand it properly. For example, write a page object model for the login page in Playwright TypeScript, right? Provide context around framework and architecture. Create a test ng test like this, right? So those are the important points that you should definitely consider when you start using these prompts and all, right? Now, as I promised initially, we have just seen the demo how to create the test automation scripts. But next, what we are going to do is interesting. I will show you how you can use this to review your code, right? To enhance your code, right? And to make changes on your code too. Okay, so let's jump into our IDE quickly. So here is our IDE. Let assume we have generated this code, right? Just let me take back to the IDE. Let's go back to our task, right? So this is the code that has been generated for us, right? If you remember, this is the code that has been generated. Now let us assume you want to review this piece of code, right? What you can do, there are multiple ways, okay? Either you can select this code, right click on it, come to Amazon queue. Here you will get some points. Explain the code, refactor the code, fix the code, optimize the code, generate unit test for it, send to prompt, inline chat on this code. Everything can be done very easily. Let assume you are a Python guy, right? You don't know anything about, or maybe you are a Java guy, you don't know anything about TypeScript. Then how you will utilize it smartly? Let assume I will go over here. I will take you to a code. Let assume I go over here into task. Let assume you are in Python, you don't know Java, right? And you don't understand what this class or this method is exactly doing. What you can do, you can select this one, right? Right click on it, Amazon Q. No need to select even. Let's go with the entire class. Explain code. Okay, just let me move my cursor over here. So if you see over here, when you just click on the explain code, it will explain you everything what is happening over here. See how properly it has explained. Explain the following part of my code for me. Let me break down the Selenium, setting up the browser, finding the login elements, entering the credentials, submitting the form, verifying the login, cleanup. Awesome, right? You don't even have to put a lot of brain like where to figure out how I will understand this code, whom to ask, following up with multiple folks. Everybody seems too busy when you joined a new organization, right? so so that's why this is the best way to understand your code, right? Similarly, let assume you want to review your code. Okay, so the commands I have shown you by clicking or right clicking, that one you can also get it over here by clicking a slash. See, generate code slash dev. If you want to generate documentation for your code, you can use slash doc. Now let's see that, let assume you are working in a project, there is no one to review your code. Then what you can do, you can simply use this slash review. Okay, review entire project or review the active file. We will go and review the active file. Okay, so review active file. Okay, so what it basically does, it considered the basic coding standards. Okay, I will also send you a document where I mentioned most important coding standards and optimization techniques, which will help you maybe. So now what it is basically doing, it is basically going through the files, right? And it is reviewing the code, right? It will review the code and it will also give you suggestions that what you can do better so that it will be more efficient for you. So the increasing the efficiency in terms of coding standards and optimization techniques, because many of my students say that okay, we don't have a review process, so we don't able to learn. So this is the best way, folks, right? So let it complete, let it review the code, right? Meanwhile, let me minimize it and I will show you a couple of more things. There is also one more way where you can see it has already done reviewing your file, view in code issues panel, waiting for your inputs. Okay, so it will come over here. Can you see println rather than a dedicated logging facility? See system.out, poor logging practice 100%, right? Poor logging practice, again println. It will also show you which line, folks. See, this one is common weakness enumeration, lack of exception handling. Very good, very good, impressed, right? And this is also, see, no potential exception handling. And the best part is you can also fix it over here right away. Okay, see, can you see the button generate fix? Can you see? See, if you click on generate fix, regenerate fix, so this is the fix it has suggested, that it will use logger and then it will replace with logger. Apply fix. If you click on apply fix, it will automatically review your, it will automatically remove the this one, and it will add it over here. See, this is the one it has added. Private. Definitely you need some fixes. Logger factory dot table xpath, because it has assumed that that is the name. Correct. Import class, we can import it. Right, folks? Similarly, you can also look into the other fixes. See, some medium are there, some readability and maintainability issue, performance is also, if it has figured out something. Correct, you can check the rest of the things, right? So those are kind of the examples you can use. Those are the kind of the features that you can use while working with agentic AI or code generation tool, right? So we have seen how to generate, how to review, and then how to do the fixes also, right? There is one more aspect of it, okay, that I am going to show you, right? If you put left over here, there is one more thing I will show you, which I like a lot. Okay, folks, so let me just drag it quickly. If you come over here, just put slash. As I told, slash is the best one. So you can generate unit test also for it. So if you just select this one, right, and you can press enter, what it will do, basically whatever method you have created, right, it will automatically generate unit test for it. Okay, so table xpath java, we have around two method. One is main method and one is this Gmail login test. So basically it will try to generate test script, try to generate unit test also for it. See, generating unit test 0%. Right. So similarly, there is one more thing which you can use, that is doc, generate documentation for your code. Create a README file. Okay. See, task. So create a README for this project. Yes. This might take a minute. So see, if you are creating a project and you don't have time to create a proper, which is always missing, right? Very rarely I have seen project where people have a good readme. So this is where you don't have to put a lot of effort, right? So now it will create a readme for you, it will create the doc, right? It will review your code, it will help you to enhance your code. What else we need, right? Okay, cool, cool, folks. I hope you must. So it will take some time to generate these things. Okay, see, it has created this. This is the doc it has created. Okay, can you notice, folks? No, unit test, sorry, this is the unit test one. Okay, it has generated some unit test over here. See, table path test, it has already generated. See, this is the unit test it has generated. Test main method prints Francisco change, and then table xpath main, and then test main page not accessible. See, if you accept it, it is going to create this text path test, table path x test. See, entire unit test it has created. Isn't it awesome, folks? Right? Cool, man. I hope you guys have got a little bit of preview how thing works around it, right? And this document I'm going to share. I hope you have liked the session. If you have any queries, any doubts, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, or you can reach out to me on my YouTube. I put all those videos on my YouTube. You can check it. This is my YouTube channel and my LinkedIn. And if you want to connect with me, you can reach out to me with through this link. Okay. You can find all my details over here. Linktree Siddharth Shukla. I have post everything. Okay. All my videos, courses, trainings, everything is over here. You can go and check. Okay. Hope it has helped, folks. If you have any more interesting topics, do reach out to me. And if you have tried any new code generation tool apart from GitHub Copilot or Amazon Q Developer, do share with the community, right? Till then, take care. Bye bye.